Mac Jones' rookie season could not have gone a lot better for him. He was Pro Bowl MVP, he made the NFL's top 100, and was many people's pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. This year, he is 38th in Pro Football Focus grade, he is 32nd in passer rating behind the likes of Joe Flacco, Baker Mayfield, Mitchell Trubisky, Cooper Rush, and Davis Mills. And at one point was even benched for Bailey Zappi until, well...
This is going to be intercepted by the rookie Gordon.
So what's going wrong with McCorkle? How do we fix it? And what can be done? Well, let's get into it. This plays a good example of what's going wrong, which is really everything in the passing game. I mean, again, whatever questions you have, is it going to be the coaching? Is it the offense as a whole? Is it McCorkle himself? It's all of it. And this is a good example of it all failing. So on paper, this play actually makes some sense. So again, a lot of people are blaming Matt Patricia for this failure. He, of course, is, handling a lot of the offensive duties here. But to me, this is a good play call against this concept typically, right? It's a cover 2 zone. You see how the concept can work. You have one receiver running a deeper route, another receiver running a kind of, a deeper route, but it's just going to take a second for him to get there since he's currently in motion. The halfback runs underneath. The kind of idea is that you have 3 different layers: deep, shallow, and underneath. Typically, a defense in zone is only in charge of covering kind of that middle area of the field and deep, so there should be a bubble somewhere. That's what happens in theory. However, right when this play begins, you see Mac Jones runs this play action. He's going to look down the field, and those 2 deeper routes are getting covered pretty well. The Indianapolis Colts are prepared for this. The issue is they're also prepared for, the circle in yellow, the halfback. They're prepared for that as well. This is good defense, but it's not the most difficult play you can make, The corners ends up staying deep, so that way you have a safety and corner covering the 2 guys in a black circle, and then all you need is a linebacker or whoever it happens to be over the middle of the field, reading where the halfback is going, and you can completely cover up this area. So this was one of the main issues that was going wrong with the Colts, was that the Colts were just, quite frankly, playing good defense against the Patriots, and these are good concepts that just aren't working. Mac Jones now is going to try to make something happen, instead takes a sack right there. So, you can sit here and blame the Patriots all you want. You can say that the receiving core didn't get open. I think that's reasonable. You can say the play calling could be better. I think that's reasonable. And you can say that Mac Jones should not have taken the sack there. I think that's reasonable as well. I also think you have to tip your cap a little bit to the Colts on this play, but that's not to say that this was every play. It's not to say that all that was happening throughout this game was the Colts were playing just incredible defense. For example, going over to something like this, so it's going to be man coverage, and again, you see it's a pick play, rub route, whatever you want to call it. You have the receiver who's lined up on that side of the field, basically running to try and get in the way of the defensive player for Indianapolis, who's going to be trying to cover Ramondre Stevenson, the halfback on this play, who Stevenson is the one running the deeper route. Again, this is a good concept. This is something I like. This is something that worked. And on this play, unlike the last one where it was covered well, this is executed pretty perfectly. I mean, to the point where you could have debated it was a penalty on the pick there, but you know what? It doesn't get called. It's only illegal if you get caught. So as of right now, you have a halfback who has some separation, and this just has to be a completion. And Mac Jones, kind of one of the things about him was that he made the completions. He was accurate and he would hit the throws that he has to make. This is a missed throw and a bad one, and if he's missing throws like this, there really is no value in Mac Jones. He needs his accuracy to be a valuable quarterback. That's what made him so valuable in his rookie season, was that he made the right reads and made good throws. He missed some throws. Everyone misses some throws. But if you're missing these throws, there isn't a ton of value for you, because it's not like you're a Patrick Mahomes that's going to scramble out and throw the ball 60 yards down the field and make something happen. His value is hitting these throws consistently, and when that's gone, there's just not that much left. So that's the first thing, is he has to just get better at hitting those throws, which he could. That's possible. We have seen accuracy come and go and can be a bit inconsistent at times. But I also go back to some plays like this, which is like, listen, yes, part of it is Mac Jones just needs to play better, but some of it is stuff like this, where a lot of one-on-one matchups. That's kind of the situation here for the Colts and for the Patriots. So you need someone to win your one-on-one matchup. Well, who do you look for? Who is your number 1 wide receiver? Jones takes a snap, and against this coverage, he's looking at his halfback. And that's just, listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't utilize these halfbacks. The Patriots have very good halfbacks. Ramondre Stevenson is an elite halfback at this level. He really is. Look at his advanced statistics. He's been incredible, but he should not be your number one passing option. The issue is that, and a couple guys on the other side of the field maybe had more space, could have gotten open, or just throw the ball down the field, because that's also a one-on-one matchup with no separation. At least you have a chance of getting more yards on this play, because they are just trying to get to the 22-yard line to get the first down, but hey, more yards helps. When Jones makes this halfback throw there, it's just, there's no separation. It's not going to be complete. And that's a huge issue that's going wrong when these games are going poorly for the Patriots, is that guys just aren't getting open. The reality is the receiving core, when things are working and when their scheme is working, it can work out very well, but they still lack guys who can just win in these spots. The only guy who's really been able to do that is Devontae Parker, I would say, who is someone who has, I think, done a pretty decent job, when he's been out there. The issue is that him and Jones never really had the chemistry, and now, he's banged up as well, so that doesn't help. But going over to this play, I mean, this is just, the receivers have to help Mac Jones out. Again, receivers are, the passing game is how you win football in today's NFL. So if your quarterback isn't playing up to par, your receivers have to make up for it, and they are not playing up to par themselves. So it's a cover 2 zone. You have a receiver who's going to be running a route over the middle. This is Tyquan Thornton here, who, the kind of thing about Thornton was he was drafted very early on. He was, projected, 3rd or 4th round pick. Bill Belichick took him in the 2nd round. For a second, it was looking like it was a really smart pick, has kind of cooled off since then. And this is going to be an example of him just not doing what they need him to do on this play. It's a zone coverage play. He is the guy. He's running a route that's going to get into a gap in coverage. Jones should look in his direction. In fact, look at how this is going to work out for the most part. I mean, Thornton's about to cut over the middle. Jones has to make this throw now, but there's a gap in coverage in between 2 players. So this is a throw that you can make, and this is a play that you just, again, it's one of those, you have to hit on these plays if your offense is going to be successful. I guess you don't have to in this game because your defense was doing so dominant that it didn't matter. But as you see, Jones it's a low throw, but I mean, it hits Thornton in the knee. I mean, that's a catch you should make. It is. He didn't adjust to it in time. I think you got to get your head turned around a little bit quicker there. It's the NFL. You don't have the time you did in college. But again, these are kind of, Jones, his throw should have been a bit higher, sure. Thornton should have gotten his head a bit, turned around a bit earlier. And in football, that's all it takes. The NFL moves so quickly, you have to be so precise, and they just aren't right now. This play's an interesting one as well, where it's man coverage. It's going to be, you have 2 safeties deep here in an end zone situation. You're going to have, once again, it's going to be your halfback who you're trying to get open, but it's a similar concept to what I showed earlier, right, where Jones missed the throw that time. This concept works. I said I liked it last time. It worked last time. I still like it this time, even in an in-zone situation. However, when New England tries to run this, they see that, hey, you can only run the same concept so many times before the opposing defense is all over it, and you see that they are all over it right here. Jones looks down the field. It is not open. On top of it, there is now immediate pressure. It seemed like the left tackle there was really just trying to block for a second because he thought it would be a quick throw. That has not been the case. So at this point, you are in trouble. Jones scrambles out and tries to make something happen, but again, he's not a playmaker. That's not his job. He's supposed to be a guy who his value is he can run an offense well. Well, when the offense isn't being ran well, there's only so much you can do. If you're a point guard and every time you pass it to someone, they miss the shot, you're not going to have many assists, but there's only so much you can do about it. And in this scenario, if we're doing the point guard analogy, Mac Jones is also missing his shots. So you got to get both of those together. I guess maybe missing his passes would be the better way to phrase it. So a lot of stuff has to get better. The good thing is there still is time, and their defense is so awesome that it's working out. But the reality is it's hard to really say this is what they have to fix, because they had to fix everything. Nothing was good in that Colts game. And when you play a team with a real offense that'll be able to put up 17 against you, will the Patriots be able to put up 20? I honestly don't know. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.